Yes, good morning. So, the last session we have discussed about the cost of monitor and how to write the pattern program. Everything we have discussed. So, and today in this session we are going to discuss about methods. Okay, so it's a very simple topic, and the further topic it will be completely helpful for you. So that is the reason we understand this method first. So then we will be move on to the method overloading, constructor overloading. So these things we can easily learn. So first of all, so as of now, what we have learned, these are all of the basics. So now we are going to learn the main important concept. So that is a method. So method is a block of instruction which is used to perform some specific task. So that also I can say it's a list of instruction or set of instruction which is used to perform some specific task. See, so method is nothing but it contains some name along with that argument. Okay, so in each and every language we have a methods. So it is the syntax where we can use in the Java. So that is access modifier, return type, method name. So you can give any of the name. Okay, so we can give any of the name, like but it should not be same with the class name. We can give the different name for the methods, and we can pass some argument for our formal argument. With or without argument also we can create methods. Okay, so these are the header includes in this method. So modifier, return type, method name, and formal argument. Okay, so default return type is void. Okay, so void is does not have any return the value, so default we should write void. So method name we can give, it's a user going to design that whatever the name you want, you can just provide the name for a method. And the formal argument is also according to your scenario, you can pass the argument. You can pass a single argument also or multiple argument also. Okay, like this we can pass a number of argument in it. Okay, so this is the different headers. And a method signature. So what is the meaning of this method signature? You can see, you can easily understand. So the combination of the method name and a formal argument is known as method signature. Combination of the method name means if you use method more than one method, so it's a combination. Okay, so more than one or two, three, four, five, like this you can use the method name with the different arguments, formal arguments. So that is called as method signature. Okay, so being a fresher, so this kind of the question they will be asked in the interview. And method body, what is the method body, or whatever the things we are going to implement for it. So that is the block of the method which includes the instruction to be executed is known as method body or method implementation. So that I will be show you the method implementation, how it will be writing everything practically. I will be show you. Before that, just try to understand. See, so this is your the method name, and this is your formal argument. You can pass in a number of argument over here according to your scenario. So whatever the block is there, the statement block, so this is your method implementation. Here you can write your uh, implementation, like output you can print, or else you can some like this, some operation you can perform on it. So this is your method implementation. And obviously the return type it will be there. So it's specified into the two value written by the method. It can be the primitive data type or non-primitive data type or void. So these are the different types, the return types. Primitive data type, it's int, character, string. These are all the primitive data type. Non-primitive data type means, so that I will be explaining the future days. Okay, so based on the type of value written by the method. See, if you don't want to get any return, so if you are not using any return, then you have to write the void. So if you are using the return, Then if you are using the integer means you have to write the integer. If you are using the character means you have to write the character. So the how it will be changing, how it will be write the return type, everything I'll be letting you know with a practical example. So don't bother about it. So void is a special return type which specify no value. I already told you this. It's a one of the special return type. Okay, so the method name. So how it will be method naming convention will be. So you have to follow this some different routes to do this method name convention. So if the method name is a single word, then all letters should be a lowercase. So within the single word means it's a on a short length word, so then you can use lower keys. So here you can see the example. I just written down example to understand this. Test, okay, like this. Print. So these are the single words. If the more than one word or multiple word if we have, then we use first initial letter as the lowercase and then uppercase or uppercase lowercase. So different camel case, like this, different cases we can use over here. So that is also I will show you the formal argument, how we can use the formal arguments. So method calling statement, actual argument, calling method, called method. See, actual argument is the what which is the input is given by the user. This is the formal argument. Okay, calling the method. Calling the method means the method which called another method for an execution. Okay, in the main method only we can get executed in all those things. So in the main method we have to call the particular method which have been created. So how it will be calling, everything I'll be letting you know. Then called method means a method which is being called is known as called method. So I will show you what is the advantages of creating the method. See, for example, now I want to perform one of the action. Okay, for example, I need to be perform the sum action. Sum action 10 plus 2. So 10 plus 2, what is the output? It's a 12. So like this, number of sum action we have to perform. So what I can do, so for example 10 action I need to perform 10 times sum of something, sum of something, sum of something, I cannot be written. Okay, so for that if I create the method, so code you can easily reusability. Whenever I want to just add action we have to perform, so then I'll be just calling the method and I'll pass it the some formal argument, then it will be providing the proper output, and number of lines of the code is reduced. I told you, so 10 time I need to be work on this means I need to write 10 time of some function, some, okay, 20 plus 2, like this. Okay, I need to be written. So this is not a good manner, so that is the reason we use the method. And the readability of the code will increases. So readability means you can easily steady and we can easily understand, and everything is easy to get the things. So this is the advantage. So I will show you one example to understand this. Okay, so let me open my console. Okay, so first I have created a class already. So the public class demo, it's a method. I'm showing you the one demo method. Okay, so let me write my main method. So in the main method we are not going to create any method. Okay, so inside the class we are going to create a method. So now I want to create one method. So with method I am just creating one test method I'm going to create. Okay, so how to create the method? So according to our syntax, we'll go back to the syntax. See, access modifier, return type, method name. Okay, so now what I would do is I'll just write public. So this is my access specifier, and just use the static keyword. Okay, static keyword means which is the static method. I will give you the another topic. So that is a static method and non-static method, how to call the static method, how to call the non-static method, everything will be discussed. And already we have discussed about the static and non-static. Static means what, non-static means what, already earlier session we have discussed. You just go back to the older video and you can understand, then you can see this video. So void, okay, so I'll be creating test. So this is my one of the method. I just use a lower case. So this is my, according to the syntax, access modifier, this is your return type, this is your method name. Okay, so method always it must be having the parenthesis. So in this parenthesis it's a no argument now. So if you enter something, then it means, for example, int I. Okay, so this is the argument you can pass like this, but it's a non-argument now method. Okay, so if after the method I just created a block to write my statement. Yes or no? So because my syntax will be the same. So now you can see this. So in this block I can pass a statement, any statement. So let me write one simple statement to understand. I just print hello. Okay, I'll just say it's a hi. Then one more statement, as a number of implementation can pass hello, hi, bye, like this. Number of any number of implementation that you can pass. Okay, so this is the method and this is the implementation method. Implementation. So this is the method body. So now I am going to call the method. Where I can call the method? So if I want to get the output, I should be called within the main method. So I have already written the main method. So inside the main method, I'm just calling my method. How I can call the method? So pretty simple, since it is the static method. Okay, so I can directly call the method, or else by using the class name also I can call. So what is my method name? My method name is test. Yes or no? It's a test. See, so whenever you just invoke this static method, so this method, it will get inclined. Okay, so before, one second, I will show you. See now how it will be converted like this. So any number of time you can call the same method. See, I am not going to do anything. I just invoke my method. So let me execute this. Whether it will be executed or not will be checked. Okay, so now I'll execute it. So I got output as hi and bye. So why it given the hi and bye? So it's, see, in the main method I have not implemented anything. Okay, there is no system.out.println in that particular main method. So whatever the implementation are there, that I will be kept in the inside the method. So I'll just invoke my method. I just called this method into the main method. Then obviously main method always it will get executed. So inside the main method, this method got executed, test method got executed. So that's why we got hi and bye. Where exactly it has been implemented? It has been implemented in the test method. So this is a method creation and method implementation and method calling. Okay, so that before whatever seen the theory, so that it's quite difficult to understand, but what when you are doing the practical, so then it will be pretty easy to understand. Okay, so we can create any number of method. Okay, a public static void. Okay, one more method I'm going to create. What is the one more method? Just take it print. Okay, so instead of this print, display method I'm going to create. Okay, so now why it's showing a error, illegal modifier parameter display. Okay, so I just take it as yeah. Okay, just be writing this, wait. Yeah, so now you can see this. I just use the display method. So in the display method also you can write whatever you want. Okay, uh, just hi, hello. Okay, so now I don't want to print the thing again and again, so I'll just call it this method. Which method? Display method. I'll just call it, it's a static method, I just called. Okay, so now it will be printed this hi, bye and hi, hello. Why? Because I have called both methods. So likewise it's a combination of methods. So here you can see method signature. See, combination of the method name and the formal argument is known as method signature. Okay, so this is the method signature. So now I want to print one more thing into it. Okay, so today weekend. Okay, so now I want to print. So now you can see this is also got the bar out like this. Hi, hello, today weekend, everything will be getting the output. So if you change the implementation inside the method, then it will be provide the output. So this is how we can use the method. So I hope it's clearly understood, there is no doubt in that. Okay, so one more example to be understand. Okay, so let me create one more class. I'll just create summation. Class name is summation. So now I want to add the value. So this example I already given. Okay, so I just write the my main method. So now I want to add 10 numbers. 10 numbers means 10 different output I need to be executed. Okay, sys out 10 plus 2. Okay, so it will be provide some value. Okay, I'll just copy and paste to understand. Okay, I try to execute this. Now you can see how many times 12 12 12 12 around 5 to 6, yes, 6 times we got the output. So instead of doing this, so if we create the method, then we can easily get the output. Okay, so one time implementation, number of times get the output. How? Very simple. I'm just going to create a one method. How can I create the method? Access modifier return type public. Okay, static void sum is my function. So instead of this sum, I just take it add. Okay, so integer. Okay, add in the sense it's always using the mm, addition. Addition means it's a number, integer. So I just use the integer a, and one more argument I'm going to pass integer b. So this is my data type, this is my variable, this is my data type, and this is my variable. So this method contains a argument. So older example, we does not use any argument. Here we have used a formal argument. So now you can see this. Okay, so now what I do is I'll just creating int one method. I'm going to create sum. So already I have declared this a plus b. Okay, because already I have declared in the inside the method. So after that I need to get the output. So I'll get the output by using the sysout. Okay, so I have specified the sum. I'll just keep it into the one more different variable, that is sum. So now I'm going to invoke this method. How I can invoke? So this method, see, this is the set of instruction. Okay, perform some specific task. So here we have specified some action to be performed. So how I can perform the some action? So now you can look into that. So if I call this add method, see, now it shows with a formal argument. So here now I just trying to pass a character. See, I'll just try to pass the character. I just try to pass the number. Okay, see, now it will be accepted, yes or no? But what action we are going to perform? We are going to addition the value. So that's why I'm passing the one number, random number. So likewise, okay, so 3 plus 2, what is the output? It will be the 5. So now one more method I'm going to pass. Okay, so next 10 plus 5, 15. Okay, likewise, any number of action you can perform, any number of addition you can perform. So here, so this implementation you cannot see, but output you can easily see. So now I'll be executed, that you can see. See, 5. The first output is 5. 3 plus 2, 5. Second output is 10 plus 5, 15. Okay, so like this. Now if you want to perform summation also, okay, public static void, okay, subtraction. Again I'm going to take int a, int b. Okay, so int a and int b the same. Subtraction equal to a minus b. System dot set. Say subtraction I'm going to. So add means it will be added the value. So now I want to subtract means I'm just calling my subtract method, that's it. Okay, so how I can write this? 10 comma 5. It's now what is the value of it? Just 5, because it's a minus action. So now you can see this. Yes or no? Simple. Okay, you can like this multiplication also you can perform like this. You can perform division. So whatever thing you want, you can perform easily. So nothing different in that. Okay, so this is the method implementation, method calling. So one more example I'm going to show you to understand this. Okay, uh, so this method contains a written statement. So how I can use the written statement now? As of now, the default written type I have written is void. So now it will be changing. Written statement got changed. How it will be changed? Let me show you. So I'll be take it as class name is problem. So in this problem, we call it my main method. Okay. So after the main method, also you can create your method. So my method is public static. Okay, so let me create first void only. Void add method only. I'm just using integer a comma integer b. Okay, so now what I'm supposed to do is I'm just say method sum equal to a plus b I used. So now as of now you already learned, and there is no issue and there is no error in that. Okay, so now I'll be call it my method, which is my method add method. I'll be write 10 comma 5. So if I execute, what will happen means here I need to be print the statement, right? Yes, I'll just write it print. So 10 plus 5 equal to 15, it will be provided. So now you can carefully observe. What I'm going to do is I'm just writing written. See, when I write the written, see immediately this is also get blocked. Have you observed this? Okay, the written sum, but still it is showing the error. Why? It's showing the error is change the method return type into the int or change into the written. Okay, so first I'll be using the second option. So I'm just using the only written, then it will not throwing any error, or else I need to be get the written sum. So now I'll be changing into int, so then it will be accepting the value. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is return is always with the last statement in the method or anywhere. It's a last statement. After the return you cannot write anything. See, something you are going to write, so the entire line is throwing the error. So then what you can do, unreachable code is showing. So then what you can do, so now you can perform with a different manner. How? So again you are going to do this int. You can use some, or else you can use the different add method you are already created, right? Okay, so int of b is also created. C equal to, so which method you are going to call now? Add of 10 minus 10 comma 5. Okay, so just you print that. See, why? Because I use the printing statement in the main method. Now because the return is always with the last statement. Okay, so let me write return will be the always last statement in the block always. Okay, so after the return you cannot write any other, so that's why I used only. Again I'll get the what? Same output, nothing special, over here. Okay, so this is how we can use the return type. So one more way you can also use this. I already shown that things for your understanding purpose. So let me show with a different thing. For with the I'll just copy the same program, copy, and I'll keep it in the new class. Okay, so my method name is, sorry, my class name is K. Everything is same. Okay, so if possible you can perform like this, or so if you don't want to change this void, you have to keep it a void, then you just write or return, that's it. Okay, you should not change a method, you just change the things like this. Then just call the method directly, then you will be yeah. So now you can see the output what it will be given. So now the console is showing a purely empty. Okay, so what you have to do within the system, inside the system out, you just into that. So now you can see it show the what compile time error. So I'll be letting you know that thing. The return statement must be the last statement of the block. If there is any statement after the return inside the same block, then the compile time error it will be thrown. So I hope this clear everybody. Okay, so you are trying to return the value, any number of value, so then it will be throw an error. Okay, so this is the one more different example. So if you just return this, if you're not changing this, then it will be through the compile time error. Got it? Okay, so you have to be change this integer, and you have to be write some return what exactly to be written. If you are not specify anything to the return, so then it will throw some error. Okay, so it must be written something. Okay, so that's why. So this is the a different example which we have done. So now we'll be discuss about this static methods. Okay, so now we can see the things. Method calling statement, actual call. So thing already discussed. Okay, so return statement. It's a compile time error. So now we'll be discuss this static method. So what is meaning of the static method? So it must be having the prefix having the value called keyword, or static keyword it must be present. So if any method having the static keyword before the method creation, that is called as static method. So static method we can call directly or using the class name. So that is already we have discussed, and I have shown some example also. So how it will be the class get loading the process that you can see here. So all the static variables and method of the call class get loaded into the class static area. So one static area it will be there. So all the static method it will be stored in the static pool area. Okay, so then static variable will be first assigned always the static variable only will be always assigned to the very first, and it will be initialized with the default value in the sense each and every data type has a different default value. That default value it will be initialized or assigned for it. So after that, all the static initializer get executed in top to bottom one by one. So whatever the first initialized value, that it will be executed, then second, then so like this it will be executed. So I will show you with the example so that it will be clearly understand to you. Okay, so now you can see this. So this is the static method. Okay, so this is obviously it is a static method. However, you can call this static method. So you can call directly, or else you can call with the class name. What is the class name here? Summation is a class name dot. So what is your method? Add. So like this also you can call. So this one we already learned in the earlier session. So again and again we don't want to waste the time. So okay, so next is a non-static method. So non-static method is very simple. So whenever we have to use the non-static method, you need to be create some methods. Okay, our object you need to be creates. So without using the static keyword, if you create any method, is called as what? Non-static method. So here one example is there. Write a program for area of the triangle, rectangle and square. Okay, so before that I'll be showing you the one example of non-static method. Okay. Example of non-static method. So main method will be used. How to call this non-static method? So first of all, how to write the non-static method will be understand. Okay, so pretty simple. What just use one method name is simple random method, right? Okay, so here I'm going to write hi. Okay, so that you can make it as public. You can write some access modifiers, no worries. So here we don't have the static keyword. Then what happened is very simple. So now I'm trying to call my method. How I can call the method? If the static is there, I can directly call the method like this. But now it's throwing a compile time error. See, what is this? Change a to static. Okay, so there is no reference. With the reference only we can create this method. So how I can, so we need to create the object for this. How I can create the object? So object always called with a class name. Okay, example. So this is my class name. I just give one reference, a equal to new constructor. So it's a pretty length. Okay, so here see, this is your new keyword. It's creating a in the new memory into the heap area. So always non-static method, it will be stored in the heap area. So this is also we already discussed where exactly the heap area will be there. Okay, in the earlier session, earlier video, you can see the things. See, this is your constructor, this is your class name, this is your reference. Okay, so the class name, it's pretty lengthy, I'll just change to very small. Okay, I'll give only E because you can easily understand. That I'll show you by showing here and everything. Okay, so now I'll be change the class name. Okay, now you can see this is our constructor. So what is constructor, that will be learned in the next session. So this is your class name, this is your reference name, whatever the name you can give for the reference. So this is the new, it's creating a new memory into the heap area. So through the reference I can call my non-static method. Okay, so through the reference now I can easily execute it, so that you can see here. So now I got the output as hi. Okay, so this is how we creating the non-static method. So some certain rules and regulation is there. What is the rules and regulation? You should not have the keyword of static, and if you want to call this, invoke this particular method, non-static method, you have to be create this object. Okay, so I have to create the object with the reference, only, object reference only you can call. What are the content are present in the object? Class name. Okay, see, class name, reference, new keyword, the constructor. Okay, so these things are contents in the object, so that you can easily call. So easy? Yes, perfect. Okay, so now we'll be discuss one program. Okay, just copy this program, creating one more class, demo2. I'm just going to Q1. So my question is, write a program for area, triangle, area of the triangle, rectangle and square. So all these three things to be executed. Okay, so if you create the non-static method, you have to be called by using the object. If you are not creating the non-static method, then you can directly call. Let me show you that example. Okay, see this rectangle and square, you guys please write your home. So I'll be showing only the triangle first. Yeah, I'll be creating my main method. Okay, so here general formula is there. So now I want to find out what is this exactly. A triangle. So what is the formula of this triangle? Okay, it's a general triangle, means general formula which we used. Okay, so half into breadth into length, half into breadth into length. Okay, so this is the general formula. So according to that formula, I'm going to create some method. So how I can create the method? Public static void. So what I'm going to try, triangle is my method. Yes or no? Okay, so in the triangle, what I have to pass, I need to pass this argument. So this 0.5 is a fixed. Okay, off is always fixed. width and length it will be changed. So here I'm selecting int breadth comma int, sorry it is not a length, it's a height, like that. Breadth and height I have selected. So how exactly I using this 0.5 means off. So off I can directly use this, no worries, or else you can declare a final variable for that also. Okay, so instead of doing this I can directly use this 0.5. Okay, so now I will use float because 0.5 is the area equal to, so 0.5 f. Okay, because I use the float value, so then multiply width into height. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just writing return area. So now still it's showing an error. Why? Because we need to change the return type in the method. I'm just changing the return type is float. Okay, so now I'll be executing. How I can executing? And just call this method, because since it is the static method I just calling the triangle. Okay, so I'll just pass in the width. Width is at 10, length is 5. So now I'll be executing. Now you can see this. Let me execute this. Okay, so now there is no printing statement, so that's why it is not showing anything. So now I want to give the printing statement. How I can give the printing statement? So let me create this printing statement. So inside the printing statement I just keep it into that. Okay, so I'll be passing some name. What is that? Area of the triangle, like this I'll be passed. So then I'll be concatenated with that. Thanks. So now you can see the output. See, it's a 25.0. How? 10 into 5, 50. 50 into 0.5, then it becomes 25. Okay, so likewise you can create different methods. So it required you can use the static method. If you always it will be changing the things means, then you can go with the non-static method. So this is about the methods. So if you have any doubts you can ping me. Else tada bye bye, see you, catch you then in the next session. Bye.